Warning: what you are about to hear is not the movie version. August 23rd, 1305, London. A Scottish warrior stands in a crowded court. He has been convicted of treason. He has one thing left to say. I cannot be a traitor to Edward, for I never swore allegiance to him. The judge ignored him. The sentence was read. And what followed was one of the darkest things medieval England ever did. William Wallace, born around 1270, Scotland. We actually know very little about his early life. That's the first dark truth about his story. The Wallace of movies is a romantic hero, fighting for love, for freedom, for Scotland. The real Wallace was more complicated. He was a minor noble, not a peasant hero. He had some education, possibly in the church. His family had connections to the Scottish nobility. What drove him to rebellion? We don't know for certain. Some say the English killed his family. Some say it was pure patriotism. Some say it was self-preservation. The truth is buried in 700 years of legend. What we do know is that Wallace fought relentlessly, brilliantly. He defeated an English army at Stirling Bridge in 1297, a decisive tactical victory. He used the terrain, the bridge, the timing. He was a natural military genius. He was appointed Guardian of Scotland, the first commoner to hold that title. He administered justice. He organized resistance. For one extraordinary year, Scotland was free. Then came Falkirk, 1298. Edward I brought his full power north. Wallace was outmaneuvered. His Schiltron formations were broken by English archers. Scotland was crushed, and Wallace became a fugitive. For 7 years, Wallace evaded capture. 7 years as England hunted him, moving through the Scottish Highlands, occasionally raiding, occasionally hiding, never giving up. Edward was obsessed with him. He put a massive price on Wallace's head. Every year the manhunt continued. Every year Wallace survived, until 1305. He was betrayed. The identity of the betrayer is debated. Some say it was a Scottish noble named John de Monteith, sold to the English, one of his own people. Wallace was captured near Glasgow, bound, stripped of his sword, and taken south, to London, to King Edward. The trial was a formality. Wallace was convicted of treason. He made his argument. He had never sworn allegiance to Edward, therefore he could not be a traitor. Legally, he was correct. Morally, it didn't matter. The sentence was designed to be the most horrific possible. Every stage calculated to maximize suffering and humiliation. Wallace was stripped naked, tied behind a horse, dragged through London streets for miles, through mud, refuse, and crowds throwing things. At Smithfield, he was hanged, but not killed. Cut down while still conscious. While still alive, he was emasculated. His intestines were cut out, burned before his eyes. While he could still see them, then he was beheaded, and his body cut into 4 pieces. The pieces of William Wallace were sent across Scotland. His right arm to Newcastle, his left arm to Berwick, his right leg to Perth, his left leg to Stirling. His head was placed on a spike on London Bridge. Edward's message was clear. This is what happens to those who resist. This is what happens to rebels. Submit, or this fate is yours. It did not work. Wallace's martyrdom had the opposite effect. His death inspired more resistance than his life ever had. Robert the Bruce watched Wallace die and decided Scotland would never stop fighting. 5 years after Wallace's execution, Scotland was at war again. 15 years after his death, Scotland won at Bannockburn. William Wallace, Guardian of Scotland, executed in the most brutal way medieval England could devise. His body scattered across the country he had died for, as a warning to others. Instead, it became a rally cry. There is something, Edward, thou art never understood. You cannot kill an idea. By scattering Wallace's body across Scotland, every piece of Wallace became a fire, and Scotland burned with it. Subscribe, because martyrs always win eventually.